Angel Reese thought she was about to own All-Star Weekend, but what was meant to be her grand "I'm the face of the WNBA" moment turned into a public disaster. The Reebok sneaker launch, the flashy billboards, the "I run this city" attitude, all of it crumbled the second Caitlin Clark didn't show up. Because let's be honest, without Clark in the building, nobody cared. Reese rolled into Indianapolis like it was her coronation. But fans weren't lining up for her sneakers, they were asking where Caitlin was. And that's where everything went downhill. Empty seats, awkward live streams, and desperate attempts to control the narrative. The numbers don't lie. Ticket sales dropped, TV ratings tanked, and her own brand couldn't hold the spotlight without Clark's shadow looming. Now insiders are whispering that even Reebok is rethinking their entire campaign after the embarrassing flop. What was supposed to crown Angel Reese as the league's next big icon has instead exposed the brutal truth without Caitlin Clark. There's no buzz, no crowd, and no hype. And the worst part, Angel's trying to spin it as a win. But everyone's already seen the receipts. All-Star Weekend was supposed to be Angel Reese's defining moment, her arrival as the WNBA's new queen. The Chicago Sky forward rolled into Indianapolis with cameras flashing, Reebok banners draped across downtown, and an energy that screamed, "It's my time now." The entire event had been built up like her personal victory lap, a new signature sneaker, a headline sponsorship push, and a media rollout designed to make it look like the league had officially found its next marketing star. For weeks leading up to the event, Reebok hyped the launch of the Angel Reese one, plastering her image across social media and setting up pop-up events across Indianapolis. The timing was supposed to be perfect, a symbolic takeover moment that would put Reese front and center. Just as Caitlin Clark's momentum seemed to cool off due to her groin injury, the idea was simple. Clark might be sidelined, but Reese would steal the show. Except that's not how it went at all. The moment Caitlin Clark was officially ruled out of the All-Star game, the energy shifted completely. What should have been a weekend full of electricity and excitement started feeling hollow. Fans weren't flooding the arena for Angel's debut. Instead, they were disappointed that Clark wasn't playing. Ticket sales began to plummet almost immediately, with resellers slashing prices from $120 down to barely $60. Inside sources say, Reebok's activation teams were stunned by the drop-off empty seats at events that were expected to be packed. Even local, Indianapolis businesses noticed the difference. One vendor said, "Last year when Caitlin came, it was madness. This year, it's quiet like the air got sucked out of the city." Reese, however, pushed forward with full confidence, stepping onto red carpets and live streams with her signature Bayou Barbie swagger. Her sneaker came in two bold colorways, Diamond Dust and Maybounds, and Reebok executives reportedly spent over $1 million just on marketing for that single weekend. But what no one on her team seemed to realize was that Caitlin Clark wasn't just another star. She was the heartbeat of the WNBA's current popularity surge. Her absence didn't create an opening for Reese. It exposed how dependent the league's buzz had become on Clark's name. Without her, everything felt smaller. Fans online weren't subtle either. Tweets rolled in, mocking the low turnout, joking that there were more photographers than fans at Reese's shoe event. Even her own Reebok launch party, which was meant to be a spectacle, got overshadowed by a single clip of Clark casually signing autographs in a hoodie. Courtside, that video pulled millions of views in hours, more than Reese's entire live stream combined, and behind the scenes, the panic had already started. Marketing insiders leaked that Reebok executives were deeply concerned about sales projections after the launch underperformed in multiple markets. Early sneaker numbers showed that while Clark's future Nike release was already projected to cross $100 million, Reese's first-day sales barely made a dent. What was meant to be Angel Reese's takeover had become a cautionary tale overnight. The WNBA had handed her the keys to the city, but without Caitlin Clark's presence to draw the spotlight, the engine never started. And that's when the real cracks began to show. As the All-Star Weekend unfolded, it became painfully clear that Angel Reese's big takeover wasn't going as planned. Every camera angle, every crowd shot, every empty seat painted the same picture. The hype wasn't matching reality. What was supposed to be a coronation looked more like a cover-up. The story Reebok tried to sell, that Angel Reese could carry the same cultural weight as Caitlin Clark, began to crumble in real time. The turning point came during her sneaker debut event. Reese took the stage in front of a half-filled crowd, cameras flashing as she tried to rally the energy. She smiled, posed, and delivered her practiced speech about empowerment, leadership, and building a legacy. But when she opened the floor for fan questions, someone shouted from the back, "Where's Caitlyn?" The room went silent. Reese tried to laugh it off, but the moment went viral within minutes. Every sports page picked it up with headlines like "Awkward silence at Angel Reese launch after Caitlyn Clark question." That's when things began spiraling. Social media turned ruthless. Fans posted side-by-side comparisons, Clark's packed arenas versus Reese's half-empty event spaces. The memes were brutal. One photo caption read, "You can't take over when the queen didn't even show up." Another called her sneaker line the $1,000 flop. What was meant to be a power move now looked like desperation. But the real twist came when Reebok's own owner, Shaquille O'Neal, tried to spin the situation and accidentally made it worse. On his live stream, Shaq said, "Angel's a star, but stars shine brightest when they've got another one across from them. Caitlyn brings the energy, that's just facts." Fans caught the message instantly. Even Shaq was admitting that Angel's spotlight depends on Caitlyn Clark's glow. Internally, Reebok executives were furious. That line undercut the entire campaign. They had spent months painting Reese as the independent star of the next generation. And now one of their own faces of the brand had basically said the quiet part out loud. According to one marketing insider, meetings got heated, and damage control became the top priority, but by that point, the internet had already taken over the narrative. Then came the most unexpected blow. Sales data leaked. Reports surfaced that retailers in multiple major cities had already begun discounting the Angel Reese. One sneaker just 48 hours after launch. That's unheard of for a new signature shoe. Some stores marked them down by as much as 30% to move inventory. For comparison, Clark's upcoming Nike line had already sold out pre-orders before the first colorway had even been revealed. As critics piled on, even sports analysts joined the discussion. One ESPN panelist didn't hold back. "Angel Reese is chasing moments instead of making them. She wants to be the brand, but she's not building the foundation first." That clip went viral, amassing millions of views, and it stung, because it sounded true. Reese's camp tried to push back with carefully worded statements about supporting women's sports and building something bigger than a rivalry, but the public wasn't buying it. Every move she made looked reactive. Every post looked defensive. And every attempt to steer the conversation only made her look more insecure. The first major twist was no longer about her shoe failing. It was about the public realizing something deeper. Angel Reese didn't just lose a marketing weekend. She lost control of her narrative. The player who built her brand on confidence and power suddenly looked fragile, and everyone could see it. By the time Monday rolled around, the fallout had exploded beyond control. The same networks that once hailed Angel Reese as the face of the new WNBA were now running headlines that read, "Angel Reese's image problem reaches breaking point." What started as a shoe launch disaster had snowballed into a full-blown PR meltdown behind the scenes. Reebok's marketing team went into crisis mode. According to a leaked internal memo obtained by a sports blog, the brand halted all upcoming promotional appearances featuring Angel until further review of campaign strategy. Translation: they didn't want any more public disasters. The memo also mentioned a disconnect between audience perception and campaign tone. A fancy way of saying fans weren't buying the message. And it wasn't just fans. Other WNBA players started subtly distancing themselves. Some unfollowed her on social media, while others liked shady tweets about humility and earning your shine. One anonymous player allegedly told a reporter, "It's like she wants to be a brand before she's even finished becoming a baller." Those words hit deep because they captured what many were starting to think. Angel's marketing had gotten bigger than her game. Then came the real bombshell. A supposed insider leak from a Reebok affiliate hit social media. The post claimed that internal brand projections for Angel Reese's shoe line had been drastically reduced after underperforming launch weekend sales. Even worse, the leak suggested that several major retailers had requested to cut back future orders due to lukewarm market demand. That kind of leak doesn't happen by accident. Someone inside wanted to embarrass her. Someone inside wanted to embarrass her. Fans immediately began connecting dots, pointing fingers at rival camps. Some speculated that Caitlyn Clark's marketing team had fed the leak to the media. Others believed someone inside Reebok was trying to scapegoat Reese to protect their own jobs. Regardless of who was behind it, the damage was devastating. Angel Reese went from being the headline attraction to the punchline of her own hype machine. Even her teammates started feeling the ripple effects. During a post-game press conference, a reporter asked one of the Chicago Sky veterans if the locker room still supported Angel amid marketing distractions. The player hesitated. That pause said everything. The clip went viral, with fans dissecting her expression, frame by. Within hours, Hashtags like hashtag Reese, REBRAND, and hashtag ReebokFail were trending. But the most shocking moment came when a video leaked from what looked like a private Reebok strategy call. The grainy clip showed a senior executive saying, "We miscalculated. The audience doesn't connect with her message the way we expected. The rivalry made her relevant, not her results." The clip was deleted within minutes, but not before thousands had saved and reposted it across every platform imaginable. That one line, "The rivalry made her relevant," broke the internet. It was brutal, but it captured the uncomfortable truth. Angel Reese's fame had always been tied to her feud with Caitlin Clark. Without Clark as her foil, her image started to lose traction. Within hours of the leak, sports blogs started running think pieces titled, "Did Reebok Bet on the Wrong Star?" and "Angel Reese vs. Caitlin Clark. How one brand won the war without trying." Even brands that once lined up to work with her began pulling back, quietly removing her name from upcoming events. And in the middle of it all, Angel Reese went silent. No posts, no comments, no reactions. For a player who built her brand on being loud, confident, and unapologetic, that silence was deafening. The shocking reveal wasn't just about the failed campaign, it was the moment everyone realized that Angel's brand, her confidence, and even her identity as the BYU Barbie had all been built on a rivalry she no longer controlled. The empire she tried to build on defiance was now crumbling under its own spotlight. The public response was swift, brutal, and completely unfiltered. Social media exploded with commentary from every direction. Fans who once praised Angel Reese for her confidence and swagger were suddenly calling her overhyped, ungrateful, and out of touch. Screenshots flooded X and TikTok showing empty Reebok pop-ups, unsold merch, and comments like, "Nobody's buying the attitude anymore." It was open season on Angel Reese, and for the first time, she didn't seem to have the words to fight back. Sports commentators jumped on the story like vultures circling fresh drama. ESPN analysts debated whether Angel's downfall was her fault or the league's overpromotion. One anchor even said, "The WNBA tried to manufacture a rivalry, but you can't fake what Caitlin Clark has. She moves culture." That statement went viral instantly, clipped and shared millions of times, solidifying the narrative that Angel's fame was never organic. Reebok's silence made things worse. They didn't defend her, didn't clarify the rumors, didn't even issue a formal statement. To the public, that silence read as confirmation the company had lost faith in their supposed superstar. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark's Nike campaign was thriving. Her new sneaker line had sold out in minutes, and fans couldn't resist pointing out the contrast. Memes flooded the internet showing Clark's sold-out stores next to Angel's empty displays with captions like, "This ain't competition, this is domination." Even Angel's fellow WNBA players began speaking indirectly. One posted a cryptic tweet saying, "When the lights get too bright, the real ones stay humble." Another replied with a simple amen. It didn't take long for fans to interpret exactly who they were talking about. The locker room loyalty that once surrounded Reese started to fade, replaced by quiet distance and cautious professionalism. In talk shows and sports podcasts, the debate turned personal. Former players discussed how Angel's attitude had alienated fans. One ex-WNBA star bluntly said, "You can't build your entire career on being the villain if you don't have the numbers to back it up." That line hit hard, echoing across social media for days. But the most telling reaction came from the fans at games. During a recent Sky matchup, cameras caught a group in the stands holding signs that read, "Where's Caitlin?" while others wore Clark jerseys right behind the Sky bench. The message was loud and humiliating. Angel's presence wasn't selling tickets anymore. Inside the business world, insiders started whispering that Reebok executives had already begun exploring alternative ambassadors. Rumors swirled that they were courting younger, up-and-coming stars with cleaner reputations and fewer controversies. The same company that once called Angel the future of women's basketball was quietly preparing for a future without her. By now, the industry had spoken. Sponsors, teammates, and even fans had shifted their energy elsewhere. The once unstoppable Angel Reese brand had become a warning, proof of how fast the spotlight can turn cold when the story changes. But little did anyone know, Angel wasn't done yet. She was planning something big, something that could either save her image or destroy it completely. Just when it seemed like Angel Reese had finally been silenced, she shocked everyone with a move that nobody saw coming. Out of nowhere, she announced a tell-all documentary, self-produced, self-funded, and set to expose the truth about what really happened behind the scenes. The announcement dropped at midnight with a cryptic post that simply said, They used me, then tried to bury me. Time to talk. Within minutes, it was trending across every platform. Clips began leaking almost immediately. Dramatic slow-motion shots of Angel walking past Reebok logos, backstage footage from the failed launch, and voiceovers hinting at betrayal from inside the company. It was raw, emotional, and perfectly timed. For the first time in weeks, she wasn't silent. She was taking control of the narrative again, but the most jaw-dropping part came in a short preview scene where Angel appeared to call out Caitlin Clark directly. "They wanted me to be the villain so she could be the hero," she said, looking straight into the camera. "They built her up by tearing me down." That single line sent shockwaves across the sports world. Instantly, fan bases reignited their rivalries, arguing over whether Angel was speaking truth or just playing the victim again. Insiders claimed the documentary had been in production for weeks, meaning she had planned her comeback long before the media even realized it. Some close to her say this was her final card, a way to flip the script and force fans to see her as the misunderstood underdog instead of the arrogant villain. Others think it's a desperate attempt to stay relevant as her endorsements fade. Either way, she had everyone's attention again. Reebok reportedly tried to block the use of their footage in the film, but leaked emails suggested Angel's team was ready for that too. They had already hired lawyers and lined up streaming platforms willing to release it independently. The rumor was that a major network had even offered to pick it up as a limited doc, turning her PR disaster into a potential payday. And just like that, the same people who had written her off were now watching closely again. Social media buzz reignited, fans debated endlessly, and media outlets teased exclusive interviews. It was the perfect storm. The same drama that nearly ended her career was now fueling her comeback story. But the twist didn't end there. An anonymous insider claimed that one of Reebok's top executives, the same one who allegedly called Angel a marketing mistake, had secretly reached out to Caitlin Clark's camp for a partnership expansion just days before the documentary trailer dropped. If that's true, then Angel's film might not just be a redemption story. It could expose a scandal that drags everyone down with her. The stage is set for a showdown. Angel Reese versus Reebok. Angel Reese versus the league. Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark. Again, only this time, it's not about basketball. It's about survival, reputation, and revenge. And one thing's for sure, when that documentary drops, the entire WNBA world will be watching. So here we are, Angel Reese standing at the crossroads of her entire career. The same star who once had the league, the fans, and the brands eating out of her hand is now fighting to prove she still matters. The question isn't whether she can play, it's whether the world still wants to watch. Her upcoming documentary might be the make-or-break moment that decides everything. Will she expose the truth and earn back respect? Or will it confirm every rumor that's haunted her name since that Reebok disaster? This story isn't over. The drama between Angel Reese, Reebok, and Caitlin Clark is about to hit a new level, and when it does, it'll shake the entire WNBA. You don't want to miss what happens next, because the next move she makes could either save her legacy or end her brand for good. If you want the full breakdown, insider leaks, and real behind-the-scenes drama before it hits the media, hit that subscribe button right now. Turn on notifications, because the moment Angel's next move drops, we'll have the receipts, the reactions, and every shocking twist ready for you. Stay tuned. The real story is just getting started.